members led by local opinion leaders are reportedly turning against the police. But officers deployed as part of the nationwide anti-Galamsey operation have vowed not to back down until significant success is achieved in the fight against illegal mining.
The Inspector General of Police, Christian Teteyohunu, launched an aggressive anti-Galamsey campaign in response to President Mahama's directive to end illegal mining, which continues to ravage Ghana's water bodies, farmlands and forest reserves. As part of the IGP special operations, 3 teams have been deployed to known hotspots, Manso Dubia and Ekrimawabiaja municipalities in the Ashanti region and Diaso in the central region.
All right, good morning to you all.
In Manso Dubia, the battle is not just against illegal miners, it is against misinformation and resistance. Security personnel report that opinion leaders and in some cases political actors are inciting locals, especially the youth, to confront the police. In recent weeks, officers have had to fire warning shots to protect themselves as clashes erupt during patrols. Areas such as Manso Datanu, Tonto Krom, Watreso, Odahu, Esiodai and Impatasie remain volatile. Illegal miners in these communities often carry weapons under the pretense of defending their claims. But security sources say these arms are increasingly being turned on law enforcement personnel. Despite the threat, the Special Anti-Galamsey operation is making gains. The deployment under the command of DSP Karim Mahama, ASP Bawa Abdul Jalil, and ASP Justice Sapon from the National Police Headquarters has led to significant disruption of illegal mining activities in the regions. The task force invaded several degraded illegal mining sites where several confiscated excavators were towed to a protected base. At other mining sites, the illegal miners bolted upon seeing the task force approach, leaving behind their firearms with fully loaded magazines. But before they fled the mining pits, they immersed their excavators in a mud and immobilized them by removing significant components of the earth-moving equipment to make it virtually impossible for the task force to tow them away. Commanders of the task force became overwhelmed in their quest to move the excavators.
We are at a location called Man 9, where we are facing the same challenge. The machine is very immersed deeply into the mud, and this is what is happening. The degradation here is so terrible, and we can't continue to close eyes on this thing. So we are fighting it with all our strength and capacity as law enforcement officers.
A new machine that we have even identified here, very difficult for us to even use our usual way of even getting it started. So it's a big problem and a big challenge which we need technical people who will always assist in this situation to be able to take some of these excavators out anytime we confront with this situation. I think basically the fight against illegal mining is something that we will continue to do. As law enforcement officer, it is our responsibility, as we have been given the mandate, to make sure that we go all out in all the areas within this jurisdiction to make sure that we stop the illegal mining which we are doing. Virtually, I can say Ghana, the President, the Inspector General of Police, we are winning the war against illegal mining.
Authorities say maintaining the gains in the fight against illegal mining will require more than just boots on the ground. They are calling for enhanced intelligence gathering, government engagement with local communities, and logistical support to prevent a resurgence of Galamsey. As the IGP's men continue their mission, the Ghana Police Service is urging residents to support rather than sabotage efforts to protect the environment, warning that attacks on officers will not be tolerated. Stanley Nibleu, TV3 News, Manso Dubia.
Now, still on Galamsey, in a renewed effort to combat illegal mining commonly known as Galamsey, the government is adopting a multi-agency approach that actively involves traditional leaders to ensure sustainability and effectiveness. National Security Coordinator Abdul Razak Osman expressed optimism that this collaborative strategy will reinvigorate the fight against Galamsey. He was addressing the National House of Chiefs meeting in Kumasi.
Galamsey has evolved from an environmental problem into a national security risk or crisis. When community can no longer drink from its river, when farmlands become wasteland, when the young people see no future except in the destruction of mining pits, we have not just as an environmental disaster, we have a perfect breeding ground for criminality and social unrest. Under relevant sections of the Mineral and Mining Act, illegal mining is a criminal offense. We do agree. But law enforcement without community buy-in mostly become tools of oppression rather than protection. This is why your power as traditional leaders become indispensable. Your people respect the land because you taught us to know that land is sacred. They will protect it if you command it. They will choose sustainable livelihood because you require it of us. You are not only rulers of people, you are guardians of the land. Government is determined to fight this canker. A multi-agency structure referred to as NIMOS, that is the National Anti-Illegal Mining Operations Secretariat, has been established by government. We are humbly urging your Royal Majesties to support the mandate of this to enable it fight it well. Previous mechanism has failed because we had concentrated only on law enforcement, but now we want to do it as a multi-coordinated agency approach.
Now, another news this morning, a fire has broken out at the Accra Tourist Information Center located opposite Afrikiko in the heart of the capital. While the cause of the blaze remains unknown as personnel from the Ghana National Fire Service work to bring the situation under control. According to sources, the fire started in the early hours of Monday, August 4, around 1 a.m. in the morning. And eyewitnesses say that the flames may have originated from the kitchen area of Roxwache, a popular food vendor operating within the premises. However, the exact cause is yet to be determined. No injuries or casualties have been reported so far. In a related development, over 50 wooden structures and metal containers were also destroyed in a separate fire incident at Medina Ridge Junction on Sunday, displacing scores of residents. While the blaze reportedly began at a washing bay within the slum area, and firefighters from the Medina Fire Station responded swiftly, working to prevent the fire from spreading further. Investigations into both incidents are ongoing. We're going to bring you more details on this particular fire incident in our subsequent bulletins. We'll be on the ground and tell you more. In other news this morning, Roads and Highways Minister Kwame Gavin-Saboja says work on the Ofankor and Sawam Dual Carriage Road project is expected to be scaled up this week. He says this follows the payment of over 400 million cedis to the contractor as part of the $77 million debt settlement. He was speaking on hot issues.
Those projects that were awarded by the predecessor government, but without any dedicated source of fund. For instance, you saw the number of threats and eventual demonstration about Ofankor Road. It is a project awarded at a cost of about $340 million on GOG budget in dollars. The contractor has done some work, raised certificate of $77 million, and was not paid. So he basically more or less packed off the site. The public doesn't understand that it is simply because the previous government did not pay the bill. So we take over power in a few months' time. We are expected to pay the $77 million, which is money due the contractor. Fortunately, I mean, the finance minister started disbursement of some funds to the contractor. To
the Ofankor contractor?
Exactly. Okay. My information is that as of the close of last week, over 400 million Ghana cedis have been paid towards that, because the public says that despite the fact that there are many road projects which have been stalled, this is priority of priorities. I mean, that is why everybody was like, fix this, fix this. Without a doubt, if you are a contractor, we pay you that kind of money. We have prioritized your project amongst others. So I'm expecting that contractor's activity on site to scale up significantly from this week, because it's received some money. Because I know contractors also have received nothing, and they are still on site working.
Now, the inclusion of a proposed bridge over the OTI River in the 2025 mid-year budget is raising fresh hopes amongst commuters and motorists in the region. The bridge, once constructed, will replace the aging ferry service that for years has been a source of delay and frustration for travelers and traders. Stanley Nibble reports from the OTI regional capital, Dambai.
The OTI River has for decades been the only way across for motorists and commuters via a ferry, a service that is not only slow but also unreliable. The stretch here is the shortest route to Accra for many in northern Ghana, but the hours spent waiting to cross can be painfully long. Sometimes the ferry breaks down, leaving travelers stranded for days.
I've been here where we met no ferry. And then in that circumstances, we have to wait here for the boats. Sometimes the boats too are not there. So we have to be waiting here. Sometimes we call some of the boats from the other end to come and pick us. And when we come in, the ferry is at the other end. Sometimes we wait for hours, like 2 hours, 3 hours, for the ferry to come back and pick us. They'll be waiting for a number of people at the other end before they can cross. So it's a very big challenge.
Night commuting is also impossible once the ferry closes for the day. And for long-haul drivers carting goods like yams from farming towns like Pandai, Willensi, Bimbila and Salaga, the delay can be costly.
Sometimes before they get to Accra, all the goods might have spoiled.
When the ferry stalls, trucks are sometimes forced to wait for days. Traders say losses run into thousands of cedis, especially when perishable goods rot before getting to market. For years, residents here have pinned their hopes on promises from successive governments. Former President Akufo-Addo, in his first term, pledged to make construction of the OTI River Bridge his legacy project.
OTI Bridge to them. I am determined and I've made the promise and I am going to see to it that it is done. It is going to be my legacy for this region, OTI Bridge.
But that did not materialize.
Now, President Mahama says he's ready to get it done. The finance minister has reinforced that assurance. In his 2025 mid-year budget presentation, Dr. Kassel Atoforsin confirmed the OTI River Bridge project has been factored into the government's big push infrastructure agenda.
An amount of 13.8 billion Ghana cedis was allocated in the 2025 budget for the big push program to be used for road infrastructure. The Ministry of Finance has since issued commencement authorization for the following road infrastructure project under the Big Push program. Number 1, the construction of a new bridge on the OTI River at Dambai.
Commuters say they believe this time the project will take off as promised.
The former president, which is Mr. Akufo-Addo, said he had wanted to leave a legacy, that is the bridge. But it's rather unfortunate that his dreams couldn't be achieved. And then we've had a similar of same promise by the current president. So we're just praying that it comes to pass so that the people of Karachi, OTI region, precisely, will be quite relieved from this kind of stress.
But until the sword is cut and the bridge completed, the ferry will remain their only lifeline. Slow, crowded and unpredictable.
The Damanko-Pasa Nkwanta stretch, which is part of the Eastern Corridor Road, is an alternative route to this. But currently, the stretch is in a messy state, deteriorating each time it rains.
The case of the OTI River mirrors another pressing concern, the Afram River in the eastern region. Here too, commuters traveling from Adoso to Echi-Amanfrom face the same ferry delays and nighttime restrictions. In 2021, Parliament approved 230 million euros for a bridge across the Afram River, following a promise by President Akufo-Addo to the people of Kwewu Afram Plains North and South. But to date, not a single pillar has been erected. For residents of Dambai, Afram Plains and surrounding communities, a bridge over the OTI and Afram rivers would mean faster, safer and more reliable access to markets, schools and hospitals. Drivers say it will also boost trade, especially for agricultural produce that currently suffer from transport delays. But for now, hope is all they have. Hope that this latest promise will not join the long list of unfulfilled pledges. Stanley Nibleu, TV3 News, Dambai.
Now, President John Dramani Mahama has moved to calm fears among Nigerian nationals residing in Ghana and their government, assuring a special envoy dispatched by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu that there will be no mass deportations. Now, during a courtesy call by Bianca Odumegu Ojukwu, the Nigeria's Minister of State for Foreign Affairs, President Mahama, assured that Ghana has no intention of resorting to mass expulsions, emphasizing the shared history and interdependence of the two countries. President Mahama reaffirmed Ghana's commitment to ECOWAS protocols, dismissing any anxieties in Nigeria over any potential mass deportation of its citizens from Ghana following the emergence of a viral video. Minister Odumegu Ojukwu conveyed the anxieties of the Nigerian people and government, citing the viral video, widespread apprehension of mass deportations and fears of shops belonging to Nigerian traders being burned. Let's head to the camp of the NDC because the governing National Democratic Congress will today, August 4, hold its primary to elect a candidate for the September 2 by-election in Akwatia. Now, 3 persons are contesting to represent the NDC ticket for the by-election. They are Henry Boache, Bernard Bediako Bedu, and Erasmus Koni Ali. The Akwatia by-election follows the death of MPP MP NSE Alkumi, who held the seat for only 6 months after a protracted legal battle. In the 2024 elections, NS Kumi won with 19,269 votes, defeating NDC's Henry Yadom Boachi, who polled 17,206. Director of Elections and IT for the NDC, Mahdi Jibril, says the party will rally behind whoever wins the primary to secure victory in the September 2 by-election.
We have launched our campaign showing the interest that we are contesting the elections. It's a short time process of elections. So right from the primaries, the candidates will hit the ground running do the campaign. The only person who can win is NDC. We as a party, we are ready to market anybody who wins tomorrow. What we need from the delegates is that your candidate might not win, but at the end of the day, we all support the one who wins the campaign and win the elections.
Now, the minority in Parliament has expressed strong support for public consent and urging a diplomatic resolution to the impasse between the Ministry of Communications and MultiChoice Ghana operations over the DStv high-cost subscription packages in Ghana. In a statement signed by the Member of Parliament for Pandai, Matthew Nyindam, the caucus backed calls for fairer pricing. The minority also called for an end to the escalating media exchanges between MultiChoice Ghana and the Minister of Communications, Digital Technology and Innovation, Samuel Nati George. The statement by the minority comes in the wake of the minister's sharp rejection of a proposal from MultiChoice Ghana to maintain existing subscription fees. Sam George has described MultiChoice Ghana's position as illogical and unresponsive to the economic realities faced by Ghanaians. The minister's response followed a statement issued by MultiChoice in which the company said reducing subscription fees as requested by the minister was not feasible. Meanwhile, policy think tank Imani Africa has cautioned that political interference in market pricing could threaten Ghana's recent economic progress. In a new brief authored by Franklin Kujo of Imani, he called for urgent passage of Ghana's long-pending competition law to ensure fair pricing through legal and institutional channels. And that's our wrap up the 6 a.m. news right here on TV3. My name is Judith Brown. A pleasure coming to you this morning. Do stay tuned for the rest of New Day. Bye-bye.
Yeah, you can do it. You can do it. Just making those interpretations from Ghana and as well as in English, that certainly wherever you find yourself, you can be in a position to do what you aspire to do. And there are many people who tend to inspire us daily, and it could be sometimes somebody who is a laborer, or could be the security person in front of your house, in your office, or in that business partner's office that you tend to usually see, whose stories certainly could inspire you. Or it could be some of the biggest achievers in our society, or the middle level person whose story certainly could inspire you. And it doesn't matter whether you're old or young, once you have a goal, you certainly would need to work at it and achieve. And that's 6 Strings there, and just giving us that rendition. Great song. It's always on social media, YouTube especially. 6 Strings, just go look for him. And talking about social media, we're also available for you. TV3 Ghana always bringing you our latest content, streaming live as well, which we're doing for TV3 New Day. We hope that you did enjoy that edition of the latest news. Let's go to Chairman Godwin Tamaklo, the Group Chief Executive for the RAID Group, Chairman Prosper, and all those who are with the Lechu family in Anyirawase, in the Volta region, in the Peki Audome area, traditional area, especially Chiamega, and wishing you all the best as well. But all those who are in the central region and the Buckmans, Queenins and all those, we also wish you great morning as well. Osebo Attains, Osebons in Kumasi, especially the Ashanti region, good morning to you. Salifu Combat is currently the National Health Insurance Authority boss for the Upper East region. Great man, if you know him personally. And let's say good morning to all of you as well. Chairman Kokoti as well, and also Asamwachum, Engineer Asamwachum, great man, Chief Mante, all those run the show. Please make sure you join us this morning. Let me open the show by telling you that for all the things you have to do, we have cash out. It goes with the show code *439#. Please be part of this bonanza. I know that the month has just begun. Many of you already have spent money on the many things you have to do, and always on your list, the recurring expenditure. We're talking about items, procurement for the house. We're talking about school fees you have to pay and all the things that you have to do. It goes with the Shoko *439#. Become one of those lucky winners. And then as quickly as you can, please increase the number of tickets that you have. Great people. Great people, great people, great people, great people. All right, so we're giving for 10 people 10,000 Ghana cedis. Become one of those lucky winners. And as always, please make sure you join us. So let me just give you a sneak peek of our lineup this morning. We're going to have Johnny Hughes from the studios of 3FM 92.7 coming back. Speedy recovery to you. And still convalescing, had a fracture in the knee, but still trying to make it back to work. And so he'll be in the studio this morning. And then we'll tell you about all the things, big issues. The Roads Minister, Kwame Gavin-Zagboja, the last week had been formally addressing not only Parliament, but also the public through the normal press series put together by the Presidency and its Communication Bureau, and then appeared also on hot issues with Kemeni Nyamani Amano, and giving us an insight into all things roads, now contractors to be sanctioned, etc. So a key discussion this morning will be based on your own assessment and then the assessment that has been put forward by Kwame Gavin-Zagboja, the Roads Minister. The priority roads which have been scheduled by government, what do you make of them? Which areas of the roads need to be tackled as quickly as possible? Do you think that road program as put together by the Roads Minister really is up to task? So we're discussing that as well. And there are many things that are happening across the country. And so you certainly will know that a lot of things have been happening, and so we'll talk about them. Well, it could be that the MPP reacting to an incident about reports, also subsequently about them hiring a company to undertake branding. They formally come out with that as well, and so we'll take a look at it. But we also know that there's been a visit for a number of individuals who manage oil and gas sector, and Galamsey is now threatening gas pipelines in communities in Ivalwe, Jura, as well as Jomoro, and many of those areas in the Halfasinin, Zama enclave. Should we be worried about the western region? And the issue about Galamsey, we'll be talking about that. So welcome for us as well to the show. Please stick and stay. But we'll have a question of the day to you, and subsequently asking you, what do you make about the efforts of the roads minister to tackle the roads based on the formal announcement that has been made, and which roads in your area do you think need to be tackled as soon as possible? And that's a question of the day. Which roads in your area or in your region, or where you think need to be looked at subsequently as part of the big push agenda by government? That's a question of the day. Thank you for joining us for the show. All right, so we're going to get an insight from the roads minister. But again, which roads in your area do you think need to be tackled as soon as possible? That's a question of the day to you for our morning segment. And so make sure you join us and stick and stay. We have the phone lines open. Please tell us what you want to be tackled by way of the road or the route. We know that there's going to be a new lane for the Accra to Kumasi stretch, or the Kumasi to Accra stretch. What does it mean for you? And so please make sure that you join us. Look, you can call as many times as you can. Please, we also have cash out. It goes with a Shoko star 4399#. A couple of you already sending messages. And Lawson Jandu says, particularly make sure that you tell the roads minister as well as the national security person to remove the road blockades from the Adome Bridge area going to Asekuma Junction, if you're going to the Volta region. Right from the eastern region, when you get onto the Adome Bridge, you'll be finding roadblocks up till you get to the Asekuma Junction. They should be removed. Lost in Jandu, Voltarians, and they want free road, free pass. Well, we already have a caller on the line. Good morning to you. Where are you calling us from? What's your name?
Yeah, Roland.
Yes.
How are you?
I'm well. Peter T.
Yeah, Peter T. Yeah.
Okay. I'm sure you've heard the road minister, and then the program of action to tackle the roads, and then how to sanction contractors who are not able to undertake works based on contract or agreement. What do you make? Which roads do you think need to be given some priority?
Yeah, Roland, let me take this opportunity yourself and say good morning to you. Then Alaji Yaukondo, a hard-working man indeed. And then Alaji Raouf, and Alaji Ava. Roland.
Yes, sir.
I think that John Mahama government is a government of programs and policies. And that government program has been a result-oriented policy that can rejuvenate hope and aspiration of the people of Ghana. And underlying factor is this road issue that you are raising this morning. In fact, my appeal to the road minister is that he should also concentrate and focus
those projects
on the community government projects. Because somewhere along the line, when you get to Sukura, there are so many roads that, one, are not yet attended to, two, and then also the potholes are too deep in such a way that it is difficult, and then especially for some of the truck drivers, and they always complain. And then also, my major concern is, a road leading to, this Takwa road.
Yeah.
In fact, Roland, it is an eyesore. And we can't encourage, road ministers or road authorities to slip their eyes over some of these areas. And they are very, very important areas because we cannot be seeing these roads and watching our cars, deriding and not getting the potential, treatment because our roads are not good. And we are begging. If the road minister will do justice to this, for me, I know that after this government, there's nothing that will cancel their hope. And we, the people of Ghana, want to say that kudos to the president and kudos to all the ministers that have been appointed so far and their beautiful job and their encouragement that they are giving the party members and the Ghanaians. Thank you very much.
Well, Peter T there with those comments. Let me say good morning to all of you who have joined us from the diaspora as well. From the UK, we have Prince Nadia. Good morning to you as well. And then, of course, Kwesi Mensah has also joined us. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Yes, sir. Where are you calling from? What's your name as well?
This Honorable Noah from Akosombo, Ajinadono electoral area.
All right. So that would be a Sujaman, is that not it?
Yes, in a Sujaman.
Yeah, I just had a comment from Lawson Jandu who says that there are too many roadblocks after Timpoku. That's after the Adome Bridge before you get to Asekuma Junction. And so those roadblocks need to be removed. But I don't know. What's your own comment about roads generally? And then what needs to be done despite what the schedule is as announced by the roads minister to tackle?
Yes, I think the area you are talking about is not in my area.
That's fine.
And I cannot comment on it as we speak because I have not been to that area since yesterday.
Please go ahead.
So, yes, so I am happy about what the road minister has said, that he is going to sanction contractors who do shoddy work or do not do their work well. I think this will be a wake-up call for all contractors that are working. At least in my area, the road that is there has been captured. That is Akosombo Jekiti Road. Yes, so I think with the able effort of our MP, Honorable Ampim, I think that road has been captured. And I believe that work is going on very speedily. So with this sanction thing that the minister has said, I believe contractors are listening and they will do a good work. Yes, so if I would say there is one that goes through Stapo to Obopa, and that road even leads to Otopolu and then can even take you to Koforidua. Yeah, I would just say that in the coming future, at least that road should be captured, and then it will help businesses in the area. So I would just want to commend the minister, and also commend the deputy finance minister, that's the MP in my area, at least for that bold decision in cutting most of the road in Asojaman. I would just want to end by saying hi to you and other listeners, and also say hi to all cooperative transport workers in Akosombo.
Okay.
In Akosombo. I also want to say hi to people in my electoral area, that is Ajinadono Sapo electoral area. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and we're grateful that you called. And, well, we have a couple of messages, but we have another caller. Good morning. Where are you calling from? What's your name? Good morning. Okay, we seem to have lost that. And this one is coming from Neodik Nia Tukwekwe Onupa. Good morning to you. Have you left the house? Let me know. He lives around, then Sawam to Achimota stretch. So it's always a drudgery trying to come into Accra. He's always complaining. He says, I would like to humbly remind our president that the Pukwase Katapo road construction should not be forgotten, as he promised on his birthday last year to construct the road for us. We are patiently waiting. Well, there are a lot of people who complain about that. Oliver George, it's been a while. I'll read your message in a tart, but in the meantime, please, we have another caller. What's your name?
My name is Xavier. I'm calling from Western Region, Jomoro.
Xavier from Jomoro.
Yes, please.
Yeah. There's a story we'll be talking about with there have been concerns expressed by those in oil and gas enclaves from the state managing those that Galamsey is threatening the pipeline. But we'll talk about that. But which roads do you think need critical attention?
Yeah, the road from Hafasini to Sameh, the road that leads Jamoro Municipal Capital.
Mm.
Yeah, that has been left for about 8 years now.
Okay, which road again? Which road again?
From Hafasini to Sameh.
Hafasini to Sameh.
Yes, please.
Okay. And you're saying over the last 8 years, was it that it was given out for contract and then work hasn't been done, or what exactly is the state?
Yeah, it was given to a contract, and then the contract, they just came on the road and then they left all their tools in a town called Tikoba number 1. All their tools are there. The road is left behind. In reading the budget too, we didn't hear anything about our road.
Okay. All right. All right. I'm sure the powers that be are listening, and thank you for calling as well. Wishing you all the best for the day. Oliver George is with the Manfi Girls. Oliver George, that's the school, right? Manfi Girls Senior High School. They tend to do a lot of robotics as well. Oliver George, a great friend of mine. He says that, I want to comment on the Kpando Toko Road. I'm sending you the state of the road in pictures. You can show it on your show. Okay, so I'm sending it to my producer right now. And then we'll get to see. Hey, so Oliver George, I didn't know that you had all these pictures. So he's complaining about the Kpando Toko Road. And, well, I went to Bishop Herman in Kpando, so at least I know that road very well. So I sent it to Shadrach, my lead producer. We'll try and see. Oliver George, Ketsi, Manfi Girls Senior High School. That's where he works and teaches as well. Great work. He's giving me the state of the road. I've sent it there. So this is real time. You can send me the pictures as you have them of the state of the road as you have it. And, okay, so I have this one from Prince Henry Kofodia. Prince Henry Kofodia says, basically, bridge on the Afram River linking the Kwewu to Afram Plains area will make me happier or more happy if it is done. And then Kofodia to Suhum as well. And again, that is the bridge linking the Afram River, Kwewu to Afram Plains, and then Kofodia to Suhum, that link stretch there. I've left Pokwasi to Achimota. Traffic is always mad. Okay, so Neo Dick says that he's left. Now, this one is coming from Kofi Kwating Amenin Kukro. Senior, good morning to you as well. Why bypasses alone are insufficient? He says, temporary fixes. Bypasses, example, Konongo ease local congestion but fail to address cross-country freight efficiency and assigning reasons why we're going to have a new stretch, Accra to Kumasi altogether, even though I've seen some criticism as well. Safety imperative, and then also emphasize that the minister emphasized the expressway's design is to prevent head-on collisions, a critical need given Ghana's high road fatality. Bypasses lack this comprehensive safety overhaul. So supposed to create a free expressway, as they call it in America, and just to make sure. I'll read some of your comments as well. We already have another caller. Good morning to you. What's your name? Where are you calling us from? We're talking roads. The roads minister has itemized a number of them as well. Which in your region and area do you want to comment about? What's your name?
My name is Mohammed, calling from Pokwasi.
Oh, Alhaji Mohammed, please go ahead. Which road? It has to be Pokwasi Road, right?
Oshima Road in Pokwasi.
Okay.
The road is very, very bad. We've talked to our the DP and the MP, or they don't mind our road at all. We are pleading to come on their aid.
Okay, is it an arterial road or is a major road? It's a main road?
No, it's an arterial road, not a major road.
Again,
but that road leads to the main road leading to Pokwasi.
Okay, so Pokwasi to where?
Pokwasi, Oshuman Road.
Oshuman to Pokwasi.
Yes, sir.
So that you can get onto the main road, is that not it?
Yes, you can get to the main road. That's children's college. There's a school there.
All right.
Students are suffering. Oshuman Road, they are suffering power.
Yeah. Thank you very much for this as well. And Zach, good morning to you. Master Planner Junior Kintampo. It's Master Planner Junior, policy analyst Kintampo says, in Kintampo, all the inner roads are in a very bad state. President Mahama promised to do it for us, and I trust he will deliver. Master Planner Junior. You know why I'm laughing, but no problem. And then my own hometown roads are in a deplorable. So when you get to Akuse Junction into the main Akuse stretch, I don't know why the OTI River Authority, and I have to plead with the, so from the Akuse Junction into the Akuse Township, bad roads. Our own hometown, I don't know, so don't have Akuse roads are very deplorable. Yeah, from VRA Junction to Akuse Township, from Rav. No, the one I sent to you is from Pando Toko. Yeah, it's from Oliver George. And, okay. Okay, so, well, Michael Ohini Tete with the UPSA Security Department, good morning to you, says that the major roads that need to be done first also have to be done in addition to the link roads. For example, you go to parts of where they call New Legon, East Legon Annex, and all those places. The roads are very bad. Nice houses, bad roads. And that's a complaint from Michael Ohini Tete, who celebrated the birthday last week, though. A belated happy birthday to you as well. And Zach is laughing. Yeah, we're all laughing together. Okay. Please, you can call as always before we go to Johnny. We have cash out. It goes with Shoko *439#. Try as many times as you can. Edem Agble, Andy Edem Agble has sent me a message. Please, Andy, please, we have cash out. Choose option 2. Increase the number of tickets. Become one of those lucky winners. 10 people are going to enjoy 10,000 Ghana cedis. You said our road maintenance culture in Ghana is very bad. The road maintenance department too are also not helping. The patch potholes and it's higher than the patch potholes and it's higher than the original length. I think we're going to read a number of this as well.
Goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever and ever. Amen. Assalamu alaikum. It's Monday, the 4th of August, 2025, and welcome to Johnny's Bite. Let me take time to specially thank all of you who checked up on me while I was down, and I kept asking the question that, for example, Daddy Lumba is late. Mr. Sampiale is late. And then also Mr. Adekoka is late. And then one of my favorite bishops of all time, who worked so hard in the diocese of Cape Coast in the Anglican Church, who also finally ended up in the United States and has gone to be with the Lord, Bishop Daniel Alote. All these great men, as Lord Pretender or Pretty Pretender, the Calypso King would say, they don't make them like them anymore. And we pray for the repose of their souls and for their families to be comforted. But I asked a very simple question the previous week. And the question is, who entertains the entertainer? And who will help you or look out for you when you are at your lowest moment? It's a deep question. I want you to think over it very, very, very carefully and slowly. Who would look out for you and think about you when you're at your lowest? It's a question that we must ask ourselves. Now, something unfortunate happened this dawn, but before we talk about it, I want to begin the conversation with our family day out. The 3FM family day out is going to happen at Shona. It's at La, and it's going to be exciting. It's this Saturday, the 9th of August. It's going to be exciting. Helen and I were just talking about the fact that in this our country, and please put the fly up, in this our country, we don't seem to have a lot of parks and places to recreate. Each time you step out, you've had to pay some money, and it's turned into drinking bars and pubs and shisha and all those things and kebab, and that's literally the nightlife entertainment that we have. But this would present an opportunity for families to bond It will present an opportunity for the children to have fun. I have had people go there and share with me the great experience how the Shona Island is, and it's in a class of its own. You should join us on Saturday, the 9th of August, and let's have a lot of great fun together with the 3FM family, uniting with your family. Now, the sad thing that happened, and I haven't slept properly today for two reasons. One, somebody called me, a lady called me around 1 a.m. 1 a.m. today. And it was a distress call. In fact, the first time when I picked the call, I asked her, "Are you serious? At this time, why are you calling me?" Given the fact that is it actually even a lady's voice and all of that, you know, in the room with your spouse and a lady calls you at that ungodly hour. So I asked, "Are you serious? What could be the emergency?" And she said I should come and see the fire. There's fire outbreak at the Accra Tourism Information Center, and that the buildings are on fire. That building, hosts one of the best water joints you can find in the capital, belonging to Reggie Rockstone, grandpapa, and his wife, Zela Liman. And it has offices there, Ghana Tourism Authority offices and private offices. So I was shaken. And it kept me on the edge throughout the night. I couldn't sleep again. And when that news broke, a journalist had to do what a journalist does. The news breaks, you wake up and you do your work. So I've been up since that time, and I'm sure many other journalists have also been up throughout that time. But one thing struck me as we give out love to those who have been affected. I want you to pause the video when it gets to the point where the fire officers are carrying something. A big shout to the fire service officers. They did a marvelous job. And I've always bemoaned the situation where they do not have enough resources. I've been talking to some of the fire officers on the site, and they tell you that, look, the tenders we have are old. They are not in good shape. You will see them carrying an equipment that is supposed to help them to pump, I don't know how they call it, but pump, according to the fire, I've forgotten how they mentioned it to me, but it's supposed to help them to pump the water. And they had to carry it because the one in the tender, I suspect, is not as functional as it has to be. Some of their fire tenders are so old. So they were fighting fires in Medina, they were fighting some at Latebia Okoshi, and they were fighting fire at Attic. Right? And we all have pretended that everything is okay with the fire service. So we pitch the firemen and women, against the public. And the public always gets a chance to literally insult them and denigrate their honor and their dignity, because some people have decided that we will have authority, but the things that they need to do their work will not be provided for them. And it's a pity. This is another wake-up call. This is another wake-up call. People's livelihood have been burnt to ashes. People's hopes and dreams have been destroyed. And I'm not pointing accusing fingers, but I'm saying that as a country, we always talk about security. But what about safety? What about safety? When was the last time we bought a fire tender that is worth its salt for the Ghana National Fire Service? What was the last time? Or when was the last time? When was the last time we thought about it in any way? We only complain about it. We will summon them into meetings and pretend to be talking about solving their problems. But the problems persist. These fire officers that you see trying to salvage the situation, tell me that, for example, their rent allowances have not been given to them for some time. For some time. Their own rent allowances have not been given, so they don't have the resources that they need to fight the fire with. And then they themselves have been put in a situation where they are demotivated. But they are doing their work because they were trained for it. The question is it fair? Listen to legend Reggie Rockstone and his wife tell their own story. And I said, I'm sure they've been up the entire stretch. No, so Machi Road is close to the Kolebu Teaching Hospital, right? It's on that Kolebu Teaching Hospital stretch, ICGC, ICGC Church. So you get lights right from Kwame Nkrumah Circle, the new nice interchange that has been built, the flyover, etc. You come. As soon as you descend and enter the ICGC area, the light goes off. So from the Nkrumah Flats, the Zoti area, all the way to the very top, at Inshona, all the way to the top, to the seaside, no lights. What's going on? I don't know how. I'm connecting all these points because of the safety issues I'm talking about. We talk about security, but this is also a safety issue. It is also a safety issue. And we must be very, very deliberate about it. Very, very deliberate. Now, the Honorable Minister for Health and MP for Dwabusu, he went to a hospital. And I want you to listen to the woman. He went listening to the people. Look, it is so painful. People will choose private hospitals over public hospitals because they want comfort and convenience. The waiting time, even at the OPD, to get attended to is a problem. And just last Saturday, I was talking to my uncle and big brother of mine about the quality of service that you get. And even the time that is afforded you in the consulting room. Because the people are many. So we're literally rushing through things. Watch the minister, watch.
Okay. Good morning. When you are what you say, good. So within the cabinet
August. But I should take something. It wasn't time.
No make us I don't think I will be over Ghana. And one time. It also said only a yard. Five. Almost 5. How much is 5? And I don't think I from 7 that doctor not in your back. When you start consulting room, maybe I do call you room 1, but if I call the count of room 7. But maybe I know some doctor not the doctor in room 1. So no, I room 1 doctor in room 7. Good morning.
So that's the Minister for Health interacting with patients in a public hospital. And what they said there, or the things they said there, is not new to us. We know it. Sometimes you will get to a hospital and you see, it's a problem of human beings. The doctors, they are also human beings. They work, they get tired. The nurses, they are human beings. They work, they get tired. But does it make any sense for somebody to be kept in a hospital at 5:30 a.m., from 5:30 a.m. to 10 a.m.? Does it make any sense? The person is not well. The person has come to seek help, medical help. And the person has to sit for 5-6 hours. Does it make any sense? Does it make any sense? I remember very, very well one of my mothers who passed some few years ago. I used to go to the Kolebu Teaching Hospital in the night, to go and deposit her folder somewhere, put a stone on it, because by the time they get there at 7 or 8 a.m., the pile that you will see. And so you ask yourself, why are we not hiring more people? And why are we not making these things convenient for people? This is not Kwabena Mintakando's creation. He came to meet it. He's trying to fix it. But the question I'm asking is that as a country, why have we not thought about it? He's thoughtful, he's stepped out, he's checking out on the people. But how is the system catering for all of us? Let me wrap up with another heart-wrenching situation for PBC. They have worked for 21 months and they have not received a single salary. Produce buying company, 21 months. So how do they feed their families? And I want to read quickly their appeal. How do they feed their families? How do they take care of themselves? How do they go to work and how do they return from work? So we are being mean to ourselves. I've spoken about street lights, traffic lights. Let's read it together. National Consultative Council of PBC Workers Union. I received this on the 15th of July. The General Secretary, Industrial Workers and Workers Union, ICU. Dear sir, humble appeal for presidential intervention in PBC Limited. I write to you with a deep sense of urgency and hope on behalf of the dedicated and long-suffering staff of PBC Limited. We humbly seek your assistance in appealing to His Excellency the President of the Republic to honor the promises made to us during the 2024 election campaign, particularly the commitment to revamp PBC Limited. As of today, we the staff have endured 21 months, this was in July, without salaries. This unbearable situation has left many families in distress and morale among the workforce has plummeted. We respectfully call on the President to settle the 21 months of outstanding salaries owed to PBC workers. Sir, we believe that your voice and influence can go a long way in bringing our plight to the attention of the President and key stakeholders. We are not asking for charity, only for what is owed and the tools to work and rebuild a company that has contributed significantly to Ghana's cocoa sector and rural employment. We may remain loyal and ready to work if only we are given the chance. Thank you very much, or so much, for your time and consideration. Signed by Seydou Diabo, National Chairman, Local Union, on behalf of the staff of the PBC. 21 months. They haven't seen salary before. And they live in this country. Here ends our sermon. We'll be back tomorrow, God willing. Please call me 055-924-2717 and 055-69101.
Yes, next. Hey, Nadia Benson,
Me didn't tum. Mr. Freddy Calico, just call me cockroach. Now, Mr. Freddy once now.
Hey, is that you? Improve car. Yeah. Captain, mosquito, double the action.
Me need a sasso spray. Me say for the sasso quell. Yeah, go to my sasso nyonya.
Come on, Tom Preco.
Rise and shine, it's another day to stay on point. Toast is Friday, it's still on point. Watch is Friday all day long. Still on point, yes, it's still on point. It's still on point. Watch is Friday, it's still on point. For your bread,
It's creamy.
For your toast, it's still on point. It's yummy, delicious. It's still on point. Still on point, yes, it's still on point. It's still on point. Still on point, yes, it's still on point. It's still on point. For your toast, it's still on point. It's still on point. Fortune spread, it's yummy, delicious. It's still on point.
Fortune spread, delicious, creamy, and always on point. This advert is FDA approved.
Missing cook you out.
I don't know that, sir.
What am I done? Huh? Kukua. Cat.
What's that?
Kukua, you know you are sick. I don't want quality production. I know, yeah. Everybody can. Take it easy.
Boss, mommy, poor empty mixture.
Children, and this is a separate.
Make the poor empty mixture. I am a little.
I say, I'm a maker. You say, I mean, you need problem.
But that's the first one I'm going to tell you. I'm so happy. Wow.
You sure you feel so happy?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Now, what did you feel for this year?
Yeah, but P. Poor empty mixture.
Poor empty mixture. Ever and natural.
Yes.
Poor empty
Mixture.
mixture.
Yeah.
And you made a mafa. Let me check this one. Mafa.
Koa empty mixture. Ope dudu etua. Fre koa edwumekuo no ewo 0244
trick. So the trick is, after you've dialed *439# and you've chosen TV3, which is currently the option 2 as you have it on your screens or wherever you're listening to us from, whether you're getting ready to go to work or you're already on the road, you are certainly going to get a prompt. That prompt then going to give you a number of options. How many tickets do you want to partake in or stake? So it is when you increase those number of tickets, that is when your numbers, so if your number is 0244211211, then you find that as many tickets as you choose, you have the number of those tickets replicated in your numbers, your real number on the electronic dashboard. So just like you find in real time the balls, you have 90 and all that, you'll find that more of your numbers are part of the balls. So if you chose 10, your number is on the dashboard electronically 1 up to 10. If you choose 20 or 50, it means that the one who chose 50, just like what the odds are, the one who chose 50 has a better chance. The odds are better, So, well, please join us once again. *439# always available for you. We are also streaming live. TV3 Ghana always available for you. And I tell you that for you to be part of us, it also means that please get onto our stream. Let's know what you think about our main topics for the day. And you certainly will be a fantastic person if you join us. So I have a couple of you on our stream. And I would want to acknowledge you as I always do. *439# always available for you. Yesterday I was watching Ghana's Most Beautiful, and I have my Greater Accra, Volta region as always. And I mean the contestant, the Ashanti region lady, and then the Central region lady as well. And of course, OTI region, my favorites. So my top 4 or 5, so to speak, Greater Accra, Volta region. And then I also have OTI region. Oh, okay. Fred Agbenyo. I haven't even introduced him, but he's already rooting for his OT region, Greater Accra OT region, and then, of course, Volta region. We have the Ashanti region lady I also tend to admire as well. And then, of course, Central region. So my top 5, whoever goes through becomes lucky as always. We'll be hosting the person. I have some great people who are joining us. Dr. Samuel Efriye is an academic, also political analyst, and then analyzes everything that is topical. He's joining us from the Ashanti Regional Capital, Kumasi, or Pimswar. Good morning to you, Dr. Samuel Efriye. Great guy.
Yeah, good morning, Roland. Hope you're doing well.
I'm well, sir. I love your blue. I also have blue. Our colors are quite striking, aren't they?
Yeah, I see. I think I see that you like color blue.
Yeah, thank you. And then also, we've been joined right here by Dr. Bernard Tutubuahin. Good morning to you.
Hello, good morning.
Are you going for board meeting? Your 3-piece suit minus the tie. Are you going for board meeting? Something like that. Or you are representing just costume?
Not just a costume. I'll be having some small meeting after.
You're looking very handsome this morning.
Thank you, my boss.
Yeah, you're aging well. It's not bad. And then also, Fred Agbenyo. Fred Agbenyo is the member of parliament for the Guan constituency. I remember I did a documentary. That's Sal, right?
That's right.
Yeah. We had a talk, but but eventually he's now the MP. Good morning to you, Fred.
Good morning, Roland.
Okay, good to have you.
Good to see you.
And then, yes, a man who is a lawyer by profession currently has started his legal vacation. And so he's in a very restful mood, but very agile, brainy thought as well. And that's lawyer Pia Dampa. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Roland.
Yeah. Good morning. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing good.
You're on legal vacation, I'm told.
Yes,
but you'll still be attending to one or two.
So court vacation, but other side of the practice.
Okay. So other legal services you undertake. Yeah. You're a fantastic man. Thank you for joining us. Yeah. Okay, so for those who have joined us, please, let me just acknowledge you. We'll be talking about Gavin Sagboje's own itinerary to be able to develop or continue with roads left and then also become part of the roads that will be developed. But he seems to be giving a caveat. Now contractors will be sanctioned. Others have said it's more political talk than nothing. You know, we've had Year of Rose 1, Year of Rose 2, Year of Rose 3. So, Gavin Sagboje's threats, but more so caution, and then what needs to be developed. We want to discuss that extensively right here on the show. Lebene has joined us. Manini Mani, Yesuto, I see you as well. Yemole Yemo and others. Kwesi Mensah is joining us from Albany, New York, etc. Here is Kwame Gavin Sagboja, the Rose Minister.
The greatest of respect, this so much talked about push is neither balanced nor big nor strategic. I say this because I believe strongly that it's just a political program rather than economic efficient program. One, Mr. Speaker, the list of programs of roads is heavily skewed towards certain regions in the country, completely neglecting Greater Accra region and Ashanti region. Basic economic theory teaches us that when resources are scarce, when we are in financial constraints, you prioritize. And that's exactly that's what I'm saying. If my opponents don't understand this, I don't know what else they will understand. My brother, you see, you have been a road minister for the Republic of Ghana. Is it just a small advice? The road minister of Republic of Ghana, it doesn't sit well where all your examples appears as if you haven't been to any other place in the country. It doesn't look well. So you think that just because there are more people in Accra and Kumasi, we should spend all our money in Accra and Kumasi? Research means that we are taking road infrastructure to every part of the country. And if you don't like it, you can do whatever you like. When you come back, you can decide not to do road there. We shall take road everywhere we like. Every single region in our country is touched by the proposed Big Push projects. Let me repeat once again. Big Push is not a constituency-specific or a political gimmick. Big Push is a special vehicle to address the interconnectivity of our region to our national capital. It is not about Adaklu or Swami or anything.
If somebody says that I am aggregating, putting everything together under my administration, and I've done 13,000 kilometers, and as a result of that, even pothole patching have been included. What is wrong with it? Because you and I know that a lot of our roads are immotorable because of the state of the roads. So if you fix them and you are adding that to your achievement, there's nothing wrong, with respect. With respect, and you agree with me. Concerns of the minority has to do with the uneven distribution of these roads. I have seen the list, quite a number of them. Sometimes we, the politicians, we try to pretend, but the reality is always a reality. Some of these roads were started under Akufo-Addo. They've not been completed. You are continuing. That is governance, and I agree. I will not stand here and critique you for that. But it should not be created, the impression should not be created as though it is a certain big push, big push, big push. What are you pushing?
I believe that this Big Push project is not the first time we're doing roads, but it's an expression of the commitment of this government to make a major dent in the road infrastructure deficit of this country.
All right, so where should the priority lie? What do you make of the roadmap so far to do the development? And it's very important. What do you make of the Roads Minister's own itinerary so far, the program of action, and then also under the Big Push program, specifically the main roads that you think, based on top of your head, what is official and what needs to be undertaken?
Well, first of all, Roland, let me thank you very much for the opportunity to be here this morning. Let me say good morning to our church viewers. And let me thank His Excellency the President, the Finance Minister, the Road Minister, and the entire government machinery that has listened to the cry of the people of this country. And so far, have shown commitment that indeed we are in here to reset Ghana. Roland, you have traveled across the world, and you can attest to the fact that almost everywhere you have been to, one of the things that comes to the fore when they're talking about development of the country is road infrastructure. If you get your road infrastructure well, it opens up the economy, makes mobility very, very easily. People are able to move to and fro, cost of transportation comes down, and everything that you can think about. And so His Excellency the President has decided that as part of the big push agenda, we intend from this year to channel our oil revenues 100% into road infrastructure, 5% of which will go into this Assembly Common Fund. We believe that if you're able to fix our roads, open up this economy, businesses will thrive, employment will be created, and we can spend on growth that all of us are looking forward to. And so that is what that agenda is. The minister has been in office for barely 6 months. He's taking pain to go around the whole country. He's visited every single district, at least to get first-hand information as to the nature of our roads in this country. And per the work you do, I'm also aware that you travel a lot. And there is no single district in Ghana that we can say confidently that that place, when you go there, the road infrastructure is in a good state. It's simply not there. Traveling from Accra to Kumasi, the second biggest city in the whole of the country, one would have thought that we should have an express road, well lighted up, and all that. Look at the traffic that is on that road. But look at the state of the road today. Anytime Accra Kumasi road comes up, the first thing that comes into your mind is the accidents that we experience on a daily basis, the number of lives that we lose to the nature of the road. This government has decided that as part of this particular big push agenda, we are going to have an express road from Accra to Kumasi. The one that is already under construction, we are going to maintain it as well. We are going to face it. For instance, the Ofanko is the one part of the road. The road was started. No dedicated fund. That's major investment. And so it's not something you can just look for some small money and give the contractor and say, go to start work. You need a dedicated fund to be able to face a project like that. Unfortunately, there was nothing like that. So we have decided that as part of the big push agenda, some money will be dedicated for the completion of that particular project. The government has also decided that if you get to Kumasi, you can travel from here to Kumasi maybe within 4 hours. If you are crossing over to Adasonyane or you are going towards Tamale, to cross over from Angoga to the other end, it could take you in some cases more than an hour or two. The time that you have to wait, you are burning fuel and all that. So the government has decided that when you get to Ejisu, where Anita Hotel is on your right, there's a bypass that we can develop that will take you all the way to, I think, beyond Offenso. Then those who are continuing to Tamale and beyond can use that route and continue. We intend to do the same thing when you get to Sonyani, to build a ring road. The whole idea is that let's take traffic out of the city center. If you have no business in city center, why do you have to go and pass there? Just like somebody coming from the Mahaba, all these cars that are going to these landlocked countries of Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger, why must they use our motorway, drive through Tetequashiran about, drive through Achimota, and create all the chaos that they are creating? When it's possible for us to have created a ring road that from that place, they move through the outskirts, join the Kumasi road, or join the Takrady lane after Malam Junction, whatever it is, and then they can continue on their road. So government intends to do this. Now, if you look at the road project from Malam Junction to Winneba, if you recall, before we left off in 2016, the Kaswa interchanges that we have done, the Kaswa interchanges, there was a bypass that we created when you get to the Kaswa toll booth, just after the toll booth, that will take you all the way to Bunburam area that we could continue with. Unfortunately, when we left office, they couldn't complete the entire project. Not until 2023, 2024 that they initiated the Kaswa Winneba project. I don't know the last time you used that particular road. You have to be very, very alert, you need to be very, very careful, or else you just run into a drain or whatever they have created on that particular road. So we intend to use part of that money to complete that stretch. One other promise government has made in the budget is that from Winneba Junction to Makasim, right? We intend to dualize that particular part of the road as well to ease off traffic. And then also from Cape Coast to Takrady to very, very, very important road. That one, we are going to do it a dual carriage road so that traffic can move very quickly. Now in Takrady, all the interchanges that were started, if not finished, we intend to complete all those roads. In fact, the Elubu end of the road too, we intend to finish in the Takwal aspect from Takrady to that junction, where you branch to Elubu and then you go to Takwa. That stretch too is not in good shape at all. Government intends to finish it. Now you come to the Volta region part of the road. Roland, as we speak to you now, the Eastern Corridor Road, I think it was Professor Melsi who, started work on that particular road. If you get to Asekuma Junction, through Pekin heading towards Have, before 2012, there are about 2013, the contractor worked at to a certain stage and then they left it off. So you get to a place there about layers. The first layer is done, second layer uncompleted, it's a third layer. And so if you are driving on that road in the night and you're not careful, it will just throw you off into the bush. Now we intend to complete that aspect. I'm aware that when you pass from Pekin, you are going, before you get to Have, they have done that part of the road. I think all the way to, from Kweve to Have, that has been done. Now from Have to Hohwe is so terrible. That too has been captured under the Big Push program. Then from Hohwe to Sandrokofi Benoit, which is all within my constituency, it is so terrible. That has also been captured under the Big Push program that government intends to do. Now from Temamoto Way all the way to Adomi Bridge has also been captured. And I think some work is going on that road. The pace is quite slow. Government intend to complete that one. Then those who go to JJT area and all that is part of it. Then from Asekuma Junction towards Ho, that has been captured that we intend to work on. Then from Ho to the Aplau Road through what's the name where the wave can take loss a lot. Petwe area, Petwe and all those areas all the way to Aplau to has been captured.
So the link road from Ho Petwe, those will be done.
Yes, that one to be done all the way through. And then the one from Temamoto Way now to the main Aplau, Suganko is under construction. Part of it, in fact, that road, I'm told, truncates just before the Central University. Now, government intend to extend it all the way road. Don't forget, that is the West Africa corridor that Nigeria should do to Benin, Benin will do to Togo, Togo now bring it to Aplau border. Then we are supposed to pick that from there all through to Elubu. So all these roads have been captured. Now, one major road that is very key, if you are very familiar with that area, if you get to Bolga and you want to connect Bolga to Wa, it's not more trouble. You can't use it. As when you get to Sandema area there and all that from BC, you have to come back all the way through Tamale and go through Bupe area before you're able to connect to Bole and then back to Wa. Government now intends to open that corridor from all the way from Fumbisi, Sandema area, all the way to Wai. Once we do that, it's really open up that corridor, especially for the agricultural activities that goes on there. So it is good initiative. If you go to nations like Norway and the rest, they use their oil revenue to develop infrastructure. People can see.
The criticism, let me say a good morning to Frank Fia, who works, who is an aide to the roads minister. And Frank is always updating me if I have concerns about what the policy direction is. And I was asking him about the new bridge on the OTI River at Dambai.
That's right. That's something
and I remembered it was something that was promised in the latter part of the campaign when the president went there.
That's right. That's right. And I don't know if you are very familiar with that area.
Is it the Volta River? Or
no, that's River OT, which is the main tributary of the Volta River. That River OT runs all the way through to Brunahafo region. It connects to the Volta Lake. So all the food stuff, the yams and what have you that's coming from that enclave, you can just join the river transporting that we intend to develop. Then maybe we can take you all the way through Akosombo. Yes, part that thing used to be there, where we had a market around Akosombo.
Where is this Yeji? This is Yeji.
I think this Yeji. This Yeji area. So once we are able to build a bridge over that particular river, it will save a lot of things. So that those of us who are going towards Tamale and beyond, because we are told per analysis that if you move a car from Tema and you're heading towards Tamale, it is far shorter to go through Volta region. It will take about 5 hours than going through Eastern region, Kumasi,
so you go
and
through
all
Pamicrom, that route?
That is one route you can use. If you're able to finish the Nkwanta side, you can go to Nkwanta, go through Pasa, go through Damanko, Bimbila, Yendi, and then you are in Tamale.
It's shorter.
It's just far shorter. That's a straight road. Otherwise, you have to go through Pando, through Kwame Nkrumah, Botuase, Rara, Kosokubi, then you hit Dambai. Then now you cross over. When you cross over, you can go to the Kwanda side. That will take you to go and Lake Bimbila Road. then you continue again to Yendi. Then once you get there, you can also go towards a Karachi or go to Karachi Chumuru and those particular areas. So there's no better time than now. And if you look at what government wants to do, to the extent that we are very sure of the sort of the revenue, oil revenue, and the royalties from our minings that we intend to use for this particular project, the money is coming. Within 2 years, we will see the number of roads that will be faced in this country. The whole idea is to span this in for 5 good years. Now, I've heard people who have raised concern that, some of the roads are not captured in the program. It's that they are not listening.
The criticism is that the former roads minister says that it looks like some major regions have no...
Must we politicize everything?
And then he also said that there are places, of course, that was an unfortunate statement, that people... that doesn't have the population or congregation of people.
Why are you not quoting exactly what he said? He didn't say they don't have the population. He said there are no human beings there. I was in Parliament.
So he said
there are areas where there are no human beings. And then we are going to construct. And that was a very, very unfortunate statement to have come from a former minister of transport. Is there any part of this country where there are no human beings? You know, it is this whole thing about superiority complex where people think that you must come from a certain part of this country to be seen as a human being and to enjoy or benefit from state resources. Otherwise, how could anybody have made a statement like that? There are human beings everywhere in the country and every part of this country. And Roland, you know that once you develop the road infrastructure, people move to that place. You have been to America. People stay in one state and work in another state because the transport system is good, the rail system is good. We are saying that if you're able to fix these roads, that it's possible for me to move from my hometown, Accra, from Impasem to Accra within 2 hours. I can stay there and work in Accra without necessarily coming to even rent a house in Accra here to work, without necessarily struggling to look for money to buy land to build over here. I can look for a single room and be here every weekend and go back to my hometown. So it opened up the economy, the entire country. Let me conclude by saying that those who are saying some regions were not captured, that is not true. If you go and check the budget statement that was presented, every single region, 16 regions, at least 1 or 2 or 3 roads were captured in the budget that we are going to do. And again, we have also said that this is a 5-year program. What we have put forward now, the 13 billion plus Ghana cedis, it's for the first 2 years. It's for the first 2 years. So by the time we are finishing that one, we would have rolled other roads on board. So if they don't understand, they can keep quiet and watch. If they are interested in knowing, they can ask. But if we want to reduce everything to politics, you know, look at even the money that goes to road fund and all that, and the way we have used in time past. We even cap the money. We are not even maintaining our roads. Government now intend to pass a new law, restructure that whole money. Our toll booths, we are coming with a new system of raising revenue. So there are good days ahead. All we can do is to continue to support the minister, support the president, the government, and let's see how we are able to develop our road infrastructure as a nation.
And Lawyer Apiadankwa, there's a consideration that also seems to have been made by the roads minister, and then given the directive that it looks like they need to have value for money as well. We have had these refrains or rhetorics before. How do we make sure that we perhaps guide him or perhaps monitor him to be able to actualize his words? Because I see some great roads, and for the better of my mind, since I became a media practitioner, I've always heard them. You have a number of them also in the western region enclave. The Enchi roads, you find them in the Elubu area, and they're always captured. So how do we make sure that when contracts are given and then the announcements are made, we're able to, beyond what the media does in doing reports, monitor, sanction contractors who flout, and then get the right things done where they matter?
Yeah, so let me wish your lovely viewers a good morning and wish yourself and my esteemed colleagues a good morning. I think it's a fantastic question you have asked, because I think we can't have a debate that we've had these ambitious projects, one too many. I recall that sometime in 2017, the former vice president came up with this Sino Hydro thing. I think it was one project that got me really excited about that 3 billion.
19 billion.
It wasn't 19 or 3 billion, but
the Sino Hydro in total. Is it the Butter one?
Yeah, it was.
It was supposed to be 15, then it went to 19 billion. 19, yeah. But of course, that's a master plan or the master agreement. Then you draw down.
Idea was that, in fact, the thought that we were going to have this system that was going to fix essentially all our infrastructure, because the extent of infrastructure gap in our country is frightening. And the thought that if we find a lasting solution to these, the impact it will serve on the general economy. Because I think one of the key focus of the big push agenda is to stimulate the economy, to create a system where Ghana can rebound from the ravages of COVID-19. Now, I think we ought to be guided by history. Because I think when we read history, the fact that the Second World War came right after the Great Depression, and ways in which the US used something akin to this big push. That's, President Eisenhower undertook a massive infrastructure development through the Federal Aid Highway Act of 1956. And then also the SBC Act, the Small Business Act, to drive and stimulate the growth of the American economy. So I think the big push and this road bit is really ambitious, and it can be achieved. It can be achieved, one, if we can find a way of having a fiscally disciplined planning scheme, and to answer your question, to have a strong institutional framework that would monitor, ensure that the source of funding are all captured by law, to ensure that acts of or potential corruption matters are dealt with, to ensure that what drives this big push agenda is not any partisan consideration, but at least fulfills the question of what is in the best interest of all manner of Ghanaians. So I think we need we must find a way of institutionalizing the big push and all these sub bits of it, because I think the big push isn't just about rules, but it also includes dealing with the water issues, dealing with housing, dealing with the real issues, dealing with energy, and the big push, if done well, can cause a radical stimulation of our economy. So it has to succeed, and I think to succeed, then it needs to be institutionalized. I think by now we should be thinking about enacting a law, a big push act, that would govern how everything under this fantastic dream is done, in terms of the funding, in terms of the monitoring, in terms of how do you deal with the corruption issues. Because I think when you listen to the conversation or how they explain it during their campaign periods, I think the funding for the big push just goes beyond the oil revenue and all. I think they also intend to use the PPP Act to also fund a number of these projects. It means that the PPP Act must be very robust, must be strong, must be investor friendly. You get a picture. So for me, I think we've had one too many of these ambitious projects that our politicians tout, and at the end of the day, because of the radical failure in fiscal planning, fiscally disciplined planning, because of our failure to institutionalize these ideas and govern them, they become a massive political gimmick. As in, how do we ensure that through this big push, a lot of politically motivated white elephant projects are not undertaken? You understand? And I think all these can be dealt with if we have a robust institutional framework by way of an act. Like I'm saying, when the US was faced with a similar situation so many years ago, what they did was to institutionalize what's called the process. Like I'm saying, I mentioned two acts. One dealt with the infrastructural development. That's the Federal Aid Highway Act of 1956, which created a highway trust fund. You understand? And monitored, governed how what's called the interstates in America. You know, when my brother here was speaking, he alluded to the fact that in the US people stay in other states, but it's because of the great works President Eisenhower did with this Federal Aid Highway Act, which was the foundational basis for the radical infrastructure development by way of the interstate roads in the US. The big push is fantastic. Its potential to stimulate the economy is great, but I think we need to institutionalize it because it has to succeed. And if we manage it like how other ambitious projects have been managed in the past, it will just be another talk show. So we need to institutionalize it. There must be a radical, fiscally disciplined planning. It must ensure that all the acts which will govern all the ways in which funding will be gathered, like the PPP Act, are strengthened so that they can create a bit of some kind of confidence in investors, so that they'll put their monies into these projects.
All right. Well, one of the major roads that formed the pointer for debate was, well, now we have a new demarcated stretch, Accra-Kumasi. And because you live in Kumasi, particularly Dr. Efriye, how is that a big opinion leveler in Kumasi in terms of, for you, the elite, as well as those who tend to ply the road adequately? Currently, the state of the road is not very good. What are the options and the opinions being shared on that?
Thank you very much, Roland, once again, and also to your panelists, Fred, and Dr. Tutu, and also Lawyer Pierre. You know, when we talk about the Kumasi and Accra road, the sentiment of road users to and fro from Accra is something that is baffling a lot of people, that all this while in our fourth republic, all the successive government has not been able to try to handle this road in a way that is still killing a lot of people on our roads. I think about 2 weeks ago, we heard about these 15 young ones that died on the road. And we have also other accidents and people who have been made through this stretch. And people are thinking a lot. And I think that is why the president came out with the idea of having this express road linking Kumasi. But I think it's long overdue about how our leaders have not been strategic enough to link this to major cities for our economic growth. And the minister coming up, that is to emphasize on the president's idea of trying to come out of the express road. But the concern now is what is being done currently to ensure that some of the stretch of the road that is on more trouble, that have a difficulty. Because now, if you want to travel to Kumasi, to Accra, and also back, you are expecting, I think, from a minimum of 6 to 8 hours. That is the range that you have to be on road, especially when you get to Amasama and that stretch. It might take about 2 hours or so. And so it's so disturbing that we believe that the current government need to handle some of these areas that is on more trouble, so that the big push of the express, because the express way will take about, let's say, 5 or 6 years. But now the issue is that people are dying on our road. That is this stretch. So what is the government trying to do on or to handle some of these immediate needs of these road accidents on our road, due to some of, even though when we talk about the data meaning of that is how road accidents occur in the country, we realize that most of these are human errors, but road plays a key role. So we believe that those stretches of our, that is Accra, Winneba, and those stretches that have these double lanes and 3 lanes, if it is being done, because it's so difficult for travelers, and most of them have tended to use the elite one have tended to use the airlines, and that is also expensive for some people. So Roland, what we're saying is that the government should focus on this road. I believe that with all successive government, at least 80 or 4 years, it has been, if you say that we want to do the express road, for example, the express road from our president, if in his time he's not able to complete, maybe the next government should continue from wherever that he left. Then the another person will continue before all these things are being completed. So we are not being strategic enough, as I said earlier, and I think that our leaders should set up, especially this road that is killing a lot of people of late, and also stress, long hours. It's so baffling that these short distance between Accra and Kumasi, you have to spend 6 hours, 7 hours, 8 hours before you get, depending on the time. But a minimum of 6 hours, that is where you have to. But if you are unfortunate, you get to in the evening, or the rush hours, I think you spend 8 hours to get to work. And that is so stressful and unbearable for users as well.
Okay, so what's the option then? It means that having a dedicated trunk road, highway, so to speak, like it's done in the more developed world is the best option to quickly do the connection between Accra to Kumasi?
Yeah, exactly. And I think it's long because I think some few months ago, we learned about Kenya linking themselves, that is their capital, to another city, which was a PP. And then I think that we should fast track some of these things about some sessions of art of the road so that it can be faster and with the government. Because when it comes to the road sector, the major problem is about what? Is about financing. And finding out about how these, because every government, when they come in, you talk about road contractors, we talk about debt, you talk about debt. All is due to these source of funds that we are unable to pay, or even try that we want to construct road, and then we just sign it, we let people, these contractors go in, and even sometimes we don't give limitations to these road contractors. Because we don't have money to finance it, and we give it to them, they will decide the amount. At the end of the day, they will just come up with a huge bill for the government to pay. So the critical issue is about the road finance. That is one. At the same time, our maintenance, our road maintenance. And I think the road minister made an emphasis that they want to change the road fund to what? Road maintenance trust fund. And I like that idea about coming up with the road maintenance trust fund, because we have not been wealth in terms of maintaining our roads. And we can talk about urban roads, we can talk about rural and other roads. And when you look at the data of that is the road and highways ministry, that is when you look at the data, it is not encouraging. Even when we talk about good roads, I was trying to find out what do we consider to be a good road in Ghana. And looking at their own definition is about coming up with a road that you have good markings, you have maintenance. You see, these are how they define good roads in Ghana by the Roads and Highways Ministry. But you all can attest that, and the data also shows that we have not even reached 50%, or even we are 50%, maybe 2024, of how we define good roads. Because when we talk about classification of roads, we have good roads, we have fair roads, and we have poor roads as well. But for us, we have not been able to have good roads. And that is also the quality level is also because you just see people constructing good road, and within some few months, you see some potholes coming in. And I like the question that you asked. I don't know whether Fred or so, that how do we ensure that these contractors or the ministry make these contractors try as much as practicable to have value for money? And value for money has been also be an issue because we let these contractors to do their own thing. We pay them without ensuring that there's value for money. And that has been a critical issue that the ministry has been bedeviled with these old road contractors for this while. And I think that we should look at that area as well so that we can have good roads. Good roads, as Fred said, is good for development, and we are all working towards to ensure that we have that.
Right.
And I think Ghana deserves the best.
All right. And Dr. Tutubuahi, you tend to use the Accra-Kumasi stretch a lot. How would you rate the road currently?
All right. Ro, good morning once again.
Morning.
And good morning to my co-panelists, and good morning to our viewers as well. Yeah, I think that for my assessment, the Accra-Kumasi road, anybody who has used it will agree with me that it is not in the best of shape. And, to your earlier question, which was questioning, the quality of roads, I think that from a general perspective, quality of roads in Ghana is not anything that one can be proud of. Back to the Kumasi road, just last week, 15 young lives were lost just as a result of a driver trying to go around a pothole, had a head-on collision with a fuel tanker. And Roland, if you are somebody who uses, the major roads. I mean, the Tema Aplau Road, Kasua Takrade Road, Accra Kumasi Road, Kumasi Sunyani Road, and even from Techiman to Tamale and to Wa. Obviously, you drive praying that God will have mercy on you and lead you, to your destination. So why would we live in a country where we wouldn't even let God rest, right? And for this reason, I think that if the current government is talking about the big push, I feel that it is a laudable idea. If it is targeting roads, it is targeting, let me say, transportation in general, I mean, except the air transport. I think that the big push is targeting, the road transport and then the railway transports. What I've not seen is the water transports. Roland, again, let me deviate a bit and get to water transport in Ghana. Every year, not less than 200 lives, are lost on the Volta Lake.
Whether it's from the Afram Plains area, from the Kwu side, or the Volta, or the other side as well.
And when Fred was speaking, he talked about bridge, on the Volta Lake, right? OTI, all right. And I feel that, we need to have an assessment of the Volta Lake in general and explore, the economic, viability, of the Volta Lake in terms of what we can do with road transport on the Volta Lake, all right? Getting proper, how do you call it, facilities on it. These boats, some of these innovative ones that are that have come, there's the ones that you see in Denmark and other European countries. We need to get it done in Ghana, and it will facilitate trade. It will facilitate transport.
The more developed type, not the ferry type.
No. I mean, these ones are even hard to maintain.
From one water city to the next.
Yes. And I think that when some of these things are done, all right, it will ease transportation, from northern part of Ghana down south. All right. And how much would it take? I also want to believe, you see, when we check the details of the big push, it appears to me that almost everything is going to be on the head of governments. All right. 10 billion, Ghana dollars.
Estimated, yes.
Estimated, yes. I feel, yes, and I feel that that is too huge on the budget of government.
What's your option?
My option is the PPP, option. All right. And I think that we need to, as it were, open some of these investments, to the good people of Ghana to invest. All right. And again, I feel that, you see, when government takes some of these projects and become purely government initiative, what it means is that apart from the burden that government is carrying, the sustainability of the projects also becomes doubtful.
You mean due to transitions?
Not just transitions, but you see, you get people employed who feel that this is my party, all right? And some of these kind of perceptions, become so negative that it renders the sustainability of the projects, useless. Excuse my word anyway. So I feel that, but if it becomes a private initiative, if there is that kind of PPP in it, and it is being managed, very well, by the private sector, obviously you see the durability of it. And that is where we will get the gains. I also want to believe that even if government wants to have some of these projects. It should be self-financing, and it should bring in revenue that can pay for this, the debt that government incurs. It shouldn't be as if that, government has put in $10 billion and that is it. Government wouldn't get the money back, all right? And when it happens that way, the problem is even compounded to the extent that almost every time, government must go ahead and look for money to come and either maintain the projects or to go and then do another project elsewhere. And I think that we cannot continue, in this direction. And that is one of the problems in the energy sector.
As
all right?
well.
Yes, as well. So I feel that some of these things we need to critically look at. The Chinese have a proverb which, they say that if you want to be rich, okay, build road first. And what is the reason? The reason is that roads facilitate trade. Communities where may be cut off, once road is constructed, they are able to connect to other communities that are opened. And they can bring whatever production that they've made, to commercial centers, to boost their, livelihood and their economic lives. All right. So it is very important that, in as much as possible, we need to move into some of these things, and then not just building the roads, like Doc said. The quality of the road is very important. Between Bibiani and Gambia number 2 in the Afro region, a company called Mota, back in the days, it's a Portuguese company, constructed a road there. Now, the quality of it, if you drive on that road now,
it's still testament to how good it was.
Yes. And I remember Kasejan building Kumasi to, Doma, solid road. Yes, that road.
Solid road.
You understand? These are some of the roads that we are talking about. So you cannot build a road from Kasua to Cape Coast in a matter of, let's say, 5-7 years. You don't see anything.
Aska.
You understand? You cannot build a road within Dansuman, and within 2 years, everything is gone. All right? So the question is that, are we throwing money away, out just like that? All right? So the big push shouldn't be a problem. But I think that the problem with the big push, okay, has to do with the quality of the roads and even how funds are managed.
Okay.
All right. The other aspect of it is that, how would government equally bring in, private sector to ensure that, yes, the private sector, also benefit from the big push, invest in it. We are able to sustain, the project itself, and then, Ghana benefits finally.
Okay, so we have all these in the books. The policies are there. We've had Year of Roads. Big push now is there. And the roads minister evidently, for example, cite an instance where a contractor, we're told it's an Indian company, has been paid 30 million on the Wale Wale stretch, hasn't done the road, and you find signs of their equipment packed on the side, and the money is gone, yet payment has been made. So he says that he's going to be hard on you if you fail to deliver. The insurance kicks in subsequently, which is very important. But how do we hold people accountable, whilst at the same time knowing that the suggestive, perhaps phrase now is bringing in the private sector, which has been thought, I believe, over the last 15 years, something we've dabbled in. So we have many models under the PPP, whether it's build, operate, transfer, build and operate. And then, of course, you're owning it as a private sector in partnership with the government or the people of Ghana, so to speak, and you operate it for a long time. And so then that will bring value for money and durability.
Well, and I think that I must be honest, we should thank God that we have Honorable Governor Boja as our road minister. If you have engaged in one-on-one, you'll see how passionate.
He's very passionate.
Very, very passionate he's about this thing.
Yeah, Gavin is just so
Gavin
passionate.
is so passionate, and is one person you describe as a no-nonsense person. He wants the thing done. He wants result. He's not interested in bending corners. Just engage him, just interact with him. And so if he brings that spirit to bear on his work, I have no doubt in my mind that all of us will see the result that we are looking forward to. Roland, this thing that we are trying to do, the big push, it's not anything that is exclusive to Ghana. Nations have done it before. You know, several nations have done. They have used their resources, their natural resources to develop and open up their countries, move from one level of economic level to another. You know, right from Chile to Norway. You know, even look at UAE. You know, what they've used their oil revenues to do. You know, go to Botswana, what they have done. Go to Canada, what they have done. So the concept is good, the idea is good. I agree with those who said that all of us, we must not be spectators. We must get involved. We must open our eyes. We must make sure that the right thing is being done, that we are getting money for value. If you go back to the Ministry of Road and Highways and you ask them to open their books, Roland, and look at the amount of money that we commit to road infrastructure in this country, and you compare the level of roads that we have, it is heartbreaking. Like, you sit back and ask, how did we get here? And so for me, I am happy he's saying that before you are given a contract, you have to come with an insurance cover. If you don't do a good job, we will go and cash the insurance. We are not going to allow contractors to just do whatever they want to do. You go and check in the contract document, they are supposed to do a road maybe for 10 inches. You go practically on the ground, they've done 5 inches. And yes, somebody supervised, somebody cleared them to go and take payment. You know, we cannot continue with things like this. Like he rightly cited, there are roads that were built and they've lasted for more than 15 years. You know, and in other jurisdictions, when a road is constructed, it has a lifespan. Maybe they'll say 15 years. Roland, when it's 15 years, whether the road is good or not, they get back to the road and work on it. And even in this country, several years back, this, how do they call it? I think they were under feeder roads and neighbor roads. I've forgotten their name. Departments and
we have a department of urban roads.
Urban roads, feeder roads. They were always on our roads, patching the holes and getting things. Ghana Highway Authorities. What has happened to all these departments? And so you drive on a road, you see a very small pothole that we can fix immediately. We will look on, the rains will come, cars will drive in. Before you say jack, the entire stretch has become something else. I hold a very strong view that can we assign a road to a contractor and say, we are giving this road to you for the next 15, 20 years. Everything that happens on the road, you must face it. And once he knows that is the one that is going to face it, he will do the right thing right from the very beginning. But we give the road to him, he comes to do shoddy work, we take and give to another person, and so he doesn't feel the pain of the shoddy work that he has done. I think it's something that is worth paying attention to. One thing I've also realized, when you drive on the highway to this road, how on earth can we take the taxpayers' money to construct a road? A road runs through a community. Then the community people says that drivers are overspeeding. So they go and take a pickaxe, then they cut the road open, then they pour sand and stones on the road. So anytime a car gets in, it applies a brake, then the place is very wrong. Before you say, Jack, potholes have developed in the middle of the community. I think the time has come for us to arrest assemblymen and chiefs who look on for young people in their communities to do these things. Because we cannot construct a road. If they think that they don't want a road to run through their community, we say it. We can create a bypass. Because when a road runs through your community, it gives a lot of advantages. A trotro will stop, they will buy cassava by the roadside, they will buy plantain by the roadside, and the local economy is also what? Coming up. You know, one other thing, Roland, that we need to pay attention to, even as we build these roads. Out there, when people build roads, human life is very, very key. And so when they build these highways, at least for nothing at all, these wide demarcations, I don't think it will cost us a fortune to do it. using these white and red marks. So when I'm driving in the night, you can tell that I'm veering off into the bush or I'm still on the road. Because our roads are very dark anyway. Yeah. And some of these simple markings too, we don't have. You drive on some of these roads abroad, they always will create a buffer. At the end of the road, they'll create a small buffer. So that if you doze off and you drive into that buffer, it will shake the car and immediately you wake up and you drive back. Human life is very key when they are constructing a road. But as if in our case, human life doesn't matter. A lot of unnecessary trees by highways. So once you veer off, you go and hit a big tree, and then we lose a lot of lives. So all these basic things, I believe if the minister pays attention, we bring them to bear, we will have something that we need to do. My prayer to all Ghanaians, let us support this agenda. Nobody should go and sleep, especially you, the media. Every day, let us go to the Ministry of Roads and Transport. Let us find out if we awarded a contract. Who is the contractor? Let's go on the road. Let's be sure they are doing the right thing. One of the things we have done in this country, how on earth do we take the taxpayers' money to give the contractor to construct a road? He constructs a road to about 75-80%. Oftentimes, left it only the bitumen surfaces to be put on it. Then there's a change of government. Then we said we are reviewing, or what they normally we say, we are reviewing the documents. And then the contractor moves from the road. The whole road will deteriorate all the way to zero and even beyond zero. Then we go into that money to come and fix the road. And nobody holds anybody accountable. I don't think it's right. There are roads in my community. If you're from Ohwe, you are going towards Lolobi, Ekokrantumi, Abrani, you are going towards Jaska. Those roads were given to awarded under Cocoa Road. Contractor came on the road, started work, a new government comes into office. He said all roads suspended. And for 8 good years, nobody went back on the road. All the work that they did, the money that was committed into that work has come to zero. We now have to repackage that road and award it. Why do we do this thing to ourselves? And so for me, if Ghana will open up, and I need to really salute President Mahama for this very bold decision that for the next 2 years, 100% of our oil revenue, money from our mineral, resources, royalties, we are committing it to road infrastructure. Is the changing point of everything. Once we fix our road infrastructure, we are good to go. He mentioned an issue about river transportation. Yeah, really? Water transportation?
Multimodal transport.
How does it work?
Combine both roads.
From Upper East through all the way to Ada, we have the Volta, this long spine. We have OT crossing this way. Why is it so difficult for us to really develop that infrastructure and get all these big and heavy cars off the main road? If it is possible for cars to move from Tema, these cars are going to Burkina Faso, Mali, and the rest, get to Akosobo, jump under the Volta River, and then you exit maybe in Bupe, or you between Boku and Zebila, where the white Volta is, and my black Volta is. Won't it save our roads with all these heavy things that they are driving on our roads? Look at these mining areas in the western region, the diamond mining companies and the rest. The heavy load that they put on our roads. So for us to develop our road infrastructure and get it going, we need to use a multifaceted approach. One, develop your transport, water transportation, develop your railway line, and then the roads will be durable for a very long time. But if we don't do that, and we continue to allow these heavy-duty vehicles to ply our roads, we will spend so much money and we'll never get any value for it. And so once again, Minister, I have so much confidence in you. I know you are going to monitor the work. You are not an office person. You want to be on the field and make sure they are doing the right thing. Get all your men to get working. And like you rightly said, the men in the offices, in these agencies and departments, it is not business as usual, where you just sit in the office, they bring the certificate, you approve and payments are done. How do we have road tolls that we have built in time past? And then we send it to private people, they manage it, and barely some 30% is what come back to the state for the maintenance of the road. In conclusion, Roland, the PPP arrangement that my brother is calling for is something that is very, very, very laudable that we can do. Every now and then, you have people calling you from all over the world who want projects like that to do. If it is possible, for instance, we can package the road. Say, from Accra to Mamoto way, the Eastern Corridor, all the way to Paga. We're giving it to some contractors, come and build it, number of kilometers, then you toll it, either you build, operate, and transfer. We brought our Mary plant After 5 years, they've operated. Now they have transferred back to VRA. It's in the hands of the state. We can do the same with road construction, with railway and what have you. We need private capital to team up with the government to be able to speed the development that all of us are looking forward to.
For the private sector, it is return on investment. And if you take a look at what the contract sums are for roads in Ghana or Africa, they are huge. So if $200 million is used, for example, or even let's say $50 million, that's how many amounts are you going to collect spanning a number of years to get your, of course, your principal by way of the initial capital investment of 50 million, then of course your added profits.
But if you're going to go in and maintain the road for even 50 years and the road is in good condition, and we can still use it.
Because it is sorry, but because it is I'm coming. Like, if you I don't
okay.
know.
We have
respond. You see, so the PPP Act is supposed to manage this, and we want to attract private investment. I think the key is data. Yes, because if you want to attract a private person,
we have a PPP policy, but there's an act.
There's a PPP Act, and that's what I was saying, that to attract private sector, we need to even strengthen that act, because there are certain issues there that needs to be, in my view, needs to be strengthened to then attract what's called the kind of private sector investment we need. Indeed, I think the big push when they were dealing with when the big push was talking about how it intends to finance it, I think one of the key financial models there was the PPP. But then if you're going to attract private investment, then data must be available, as in as in we must create a system where it will be easy for the private person to undertake a feasibility study and then make what's called that decision as to whether to invest or not. I think with all this big push thing, as in I know it's phased, and where we are right now, I think the focus is on the road what's called infrastructure. But I want to reiterate that because of the potential of the big push to radically transform the economy, because the big push isn't just about roads, it's about railways, it's about water systems, it's about housing, education, health, it's even about the creation of industries, agric, you understand? Because of the potential of this big push to transform the economy, I think we'll be doing ourselves a massive disservice if we don't find a way of institutionalizing it. I think we must there must, I don't know if it's already in the pipeline, there must be some law which would more or less institutionalize a lot of the activities that are going to be done. Two, on the issue of the consequences of contractors taking the public funds and not performing, I think beyond the insurance, following on the insurance, it ought to be criminalized. It ought to be criminalized, as in, because you can't find an explanation for why a private person would take monies and not what's called undertake. It needs to be criminalized ASAP. You understand? And also, when you read the big push from their manifesto, I think they've made or they claim that they are going to monitor the projects by GIS mapping, satellite data, digital dashboards, and they do ensure zero room for ghost projects, inflated costs, or abandoned works. I think also in the same spirit of institutionalizing saving, I think the law that must be created must take care of all this, because I respect the fact that we have a transport minister that's passionate, that's strict, but once again, we need to create a system where we move away from the strong men to strong institutions. Also, what happens where you have the president? Because you must understand that the minister is at the pleasure of the president. All the ministers, they are there at the pleasure of the president. So what happens if the president feels that, listen, there's another sector that will require the passion of governors, honorable governors, Abuja? Or is it the case that we think that we can conclude the big push, this project, in 4 years? So what happens after the 4 years? You never a president, a new leader whose focus is different. And that's why I feel that because of the potential of this project, we need to institutionalize it, so that it doesn't matter the human being. So the source of funding is institutionalized. You understand? No, I mentioned the field aid, what's called the US project that the President Eisenhower. That act clearly stated how they were going to fund it. I think so. I think it was so they placed taxes on trucks, on ties, and I think they put about 2 cents on the cost of gas in the US to finance it. And my brother here just hinted me about how Norway is doing their own. So also in Norway, there's a law that says that 2% of their GDP should be channeled towards the maintenance of road infrastructure. That's what the institutionalization of some of these noble and ambitious projects that has the potential to transform our economy does. Let's create a law. It shouldn't be the normal politics. We've seen one too many of these things. Let's institutionalize it. Let's create a system where, at the end, the law itself will be the basis for why we push this agenda as against the passion or desire of the human being. You understand? Also, what happens if the human being is no longer there? We still have to create a system where our country will be transformed. I know we have spoken about the road and we've spoken about the water, but it is unbelievable. In fact, it is scandalous that for all these years we've not managed to advance on our rail network. Because once again, when you when you read history, one of the key things that transformed the economy of the US was their rail system, and they did that the entirety of their rail system in less than 30 years. You understand? So because of the potential of all these things to stimulate rail growth, because last week you were asking how we're going to sustain the benefits of economic, as in the stability in the economy, and we all agreed here that it is true growth. Some of these sustainable developments or transformational agendas that can bring about that real growth that will transform our economy. And I think the big push has the potential of doing that. Government must find a way of institutionalizing it, and also must find a way of depoliticizing it. Must do real private sector engagement, must do real citizen engagement, so that we understand that this project is not an NDC project, it's a Ghana project. Well, immediately it becomes a partisan project. Then, like I'm saying, immediately as in the president or the people leading this agenda leave the scene, then the project is going to go down drain. And believe you me, the enormity of this project will certainly take more than 4 years. So for us to continue to push it, because I believe that this big push has the potential to transform this country, let us back it by law.
Okay. Dr. Friye, critically,
yes, Roland,
what should we be focusing on when it comes to the suggestions for perhaps a policy shift when it comes to the road expansionism efforts of government towards the private sector, so to speak? So,
yes,
so we have a public-private partnership by way of those arrangements.
Yes, Roland, looking at our road audit, realize that we have a lot of rules that this country needs. We can talk about the trunk road, we can talk about feeder roads, we can talk about even the national, where we have almost more than 100,000 kilometers, where we have not even reached half of it. We are still trying. So we need this private partnership. And even in the African continent, you realize that some of our neighbors, like we can talk about Kenya, we can talk about South Africa, we can even talk about Equatorial Guinea. This small country, though not much population, are even trying to use these private partnership for their road sector. So it's hard time you have to set up and look at how these private participation will be done and how they can also get their returns. Because as a private investor, they always think about their returns of investment. So as we look at that, we also look at the road quality, the content, and also we look at how some of these roads, we have these economic roads, we have financial roads, we have social roads. So you can realize that even the PPA, the private people, will tend to look at the economic or the financial routes. That is where it will be much concerned. Because if you look at some section of our country, the roads, even Accra road can also be seen as economic road because a lot of things that happens there. So some sections of the road can't be privatized. And people, Ghanaians are ready to pay for quality things. So if the road are good and they think that they can go and come back with their vehicles in good shape, people are prepared to pay. So it's unfortunate that even the government suspended road tolls, because collect the road tolls, you tend to make use of it. When people know that the roads are good, they will pay. That is a Ghanaian for you. Ghanaians are not for cheap things if you think, but if you collect their taxes, if you collect their money, and you make use of it, they are well to pay and to ensure that they enjoy some of these things. So we should not have that concept that people are not prepared to pay because they are not ready or they don't have money. But if you are using the road, these commercial vehicles, they don't mind paying 10 cedis, 20 cedis if they know that they apply the road is of standard, and they apply the road for a period. Let me say, if it's 4 hours, they can spend 2 hours. They can even go and come back within 4 times or 3 times a day. And that one can make them to have more money than even having a bad. So private, we should come back. I think the government should sit up with these investors and see how some of these major, even the express road, I think that it has to be a private partnership agreement, because when the private book comes in, within the shortest time, the road will be done or will be fixed as well. So we should do that. Other countries are doing it, especially I won't go beyond Africa. Our own neighbors are trying to do it, and we should also do our best in that direction.
All right. And again, how do we get as a thank you, Dr. Afriyie. That'll be it for the morning for you. Thank you very much, so that you can log off and do some other actions based on your itinerary. But as we conclude, how do we mainstream the PPP arrangements? When you speak to, I've worked in areas for entities that tend to do a lot of the PPPs. So there's a clear issue of time value of money, forex differentials, projectively. So if you are a company or any entrepreneur who is investing in that, whether you're in country or coming from abroad, you always want to make sure, because of the currency volatility, CD dollar, you always want to hedge yourselves. Because the reality is, when you work with the GOG entities, you're not going to pay less than 6 months, averagely. Sometimes your payments or your certificates could be ready up to 9 months in excess. It's even worse in some instances, especially when it's an election year, for example. You get paid bit part, etc. So we have these skirmishes of. So how do we actualize that?
So you see, Roland, the whole thing, I think you earlier on asked lawyer about, the payback period, right? So that's just a simple calculation, right? Knowing the estimated cost of the projects, and then probably you factor in issues of forex within a certain percentage, and then you know the demand and the revenue that will be accrued to that project for a year, and then you strike the calculation, and then you simply know the number of years you probably will break even, and the number of years it will take you to start making profits. Now, obviously, it is about reducing, the time within which you would be getting your profit. Roland, if you check, past records will tell you that Ghana was making around 70 million Ghana cedis a year from road tolls.
The right? Average amount annually.
Average amount. Okay. And that was through agency. All right. Yeah, agency. It means that the agency was making more.
And the state was making less.
State was making less.
In the collection of road tolls.
Exactly. Okay. Now, what it means is that even if road alone is giving us 70 million, indirectly, what it means is that when government is going to put in technology, to take whatever revenue is coming in, then probably government is going to double this amount of money, isn't it? and more. That is a simple thing. And so our inability to bring in technology in road tolls, okay, was a cost to us. Now, if you bring it in, it means that we will be making more. What it means is that this 70 million probably may triple or double. All right. So let's assume that it is going to give us 200 million a year. All right. And with road construction in Ghana, isn't right? I think the big push is using about 10% of it for road construction.
Yes.
Yes. Now, that 10% will be about 10% of the $10 million, isn't it? Now, with 200 million Ghana cedis divided by that 10% of the 10 million, obviously you know how much a year you'll be getting.
Projected.
So, yeah, from your projections. Okay. So even if you discount it 5-10%, obviously you know what to do. What it means is that if an investor is aware of these statistics, all right, obviously that investor may want to venture into it. Now, you see, Roland, the issue about getting the public to partner with government, it could be done easily. I don't see any difficulty in this.
Okay.
What it means is that we know road contractors, right? They are into construction of roads. And then we have banks, who can also lend monies, to some of these road contractors and even to entrepreneurs in Ghana. What it means is that if government can make this $10 billion funding to the banks, it's in the bank. Contractor, if you are interested in managing, let's say, a portion of a road, okay, from Kaswa to, let's say, Winneba, that is you. So do your estimate, bring out your proposal, capturing all sectors, and then go for defense and approval. When you get it, you go to the bank, and then you assess the loan, right? Now you have put in the proposal, so your toll is there, isn't it? Now that amount of money that you'll be getting goes straight to the bank. They pick a percentage of it, pay salaries out of it for you, and then give you your profits. In so doing, within a shortest period of time, the contractor is making profit, government is equally making profit, and getting the investment back. Okay. All right. So these are some of the things, and I think that government should be ready, to consult. All
right,
Roland, please just give me 2 minutes. Again, if a private individual, a business person is equally interested, you also come up with a proposal, probably form a consortium with a contractor and probably some bank, and then you get this thing done. The same process. You are also going to do whatever it is for government to also get its share of the money. My point is that government shouldn't be putting in money in the name of the big push and will not get it back.
All right, point well made. I have a couple of messages. This one is coming from Yafebi, who says that a number of roads have already been initiated from the previous government to now. They should be finished before we think of new ones, another big push, so to speak. So a number of comments also coming through. I see Prince Mats, etc. Newton King also has sent a message. Prince Nane York. Thank you all for watching. Fred Agbanyo, wishing you all the best for the day. And then also Lawyer. And yes, we're done. And then Dr. Samuel Free as well, and Dr. Bernard Tutubwani also passing through the studio as well. We will have a conversation shortly with the Health Minister, Kwabena Mintah Kando. And it's also because there is going to be a health summit that is going to be convened right here in Ghana under the auspices of President John Dramani Mahama. And that will be tomorrow, Tuesday, August 2025. It's going to host the top leadership of Africa. So we're going to have presidents, health ministers, as well as policymakers from around the globe also here, stakeholders also in civil society. And it's going to lead to what they call the Sustained Compact, so to speak, and foremostly look at ways by which we can fund public health care in Africa and transcend the borders of Africa. So we'll be having Kwabena Mintah-Kano, the health minister, right here in the studio. We'll have some comprehensive short discussion with him. But it's also time for you to make money the fun way with your necessary ABCs, you know, the alphabet. So the ABC game is here, and it's as simple as you dialing just a short code *262# on your phone or any device you have. And this is how it goes. You pick any 3 letters from A to Z. You choose how much you want to stake, very easy, even as low as 5 Ghana cedis, and then you get to predict your own win. You could win 1 million Ghana cedis if you're lucky. Now, the daily draws happen 3 times. So, for example, today, as we have it daily throughout the rest of the week, you're going to have it 3 times. So just by the close of the next 2 hours, that'll be 10 a.m. We're going to have the first draw. 5 p.m. is going to be time for the second draw, and that's in real time. And 9 p.m. another draw. So we have 10 a.m., 5 p.m., 9 p.m. We don't have to be here. You just have to keep playing. So you get to be the one who makes that choice. You choose your time, and then you get to test your luck. So get just 1 letter, those predictions of 3 letters in the alphabet A to Z correct. So you just get 1 out of the 3 you've chosen. And then you get to win 2 times your stake. If you get to win 2 correct letters, that's 5 times your stake. And then, of course, in that order, if you get 3, you get to win 100 times your stake and more. If you match all 3 in the exact order, you can walk away with a 1,000 multiple times payout. If you don't win, you also tend to get, based on your stake, 10% cash back. So it also means that you never get to lose anything. No internet is needed. You can do that offline, no stress at all. And offline means that you just have to dial *262#. So if you're using YAM, very easy. You don't need it. If you're using the normal now phones as well, you don't need. So more than 100,000 people get to win each week. The ABC game, life should be as easy as they say it by ABC. So it's licensed by the NLA under the Caritas platform. Remember, terms and conditions always will apply. Well, we're going to have cash out as always. It also means that you get to choose option 2 as many times as you can. Please become one of those lucky winners, and you get to win. Choose option 2, increase the number of tickets you have, and you become lucky. The Health Minister, Kwabena Mintah-Kano, will be here. Please make sure you stick and stay. We'll be right here.
How may I help you today?
We'd like to open a bank account.
Sign here, sign here, sign here, and here. And now you draw direction to your house. I need your thumbprint. And I'll need your birth certificate too. No, I need the original.
A lot has changed since you banked like this. So have we. We've made it easier than ever to open an account online and bank on the go through our mobile app, online banking, and more. EcoBank, a better way to bank your way.
Sign here, and here.
EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
Text your buyer. Okay. Buying insurance.
Bebia, auntie, why you lucky?
Bebia. Now you can insure on WhatsApp with a quick and